But we want to pop you over to Boksburg because the ANC NEC is currently concluding their 4-day special meeting where they reviewed a number of issues, including the work of the organization and its priorities in government. Currently speaking now is President Ramaphosa. Let's listen in.
How we refocus our organization and how we rebuild ANC. And one can say that in embarking on this process, the one foundation stone on which this organization was built was O.R. Tambo. And it is significant that we have decided to launch a foundational course that is going to help revive our organization, but in a number of ways it also reconnects us with our past, particularly with those who made incredible contributions to get us where we are. President Tambo always immersed himself in the life of our organization, and each time anyone listened to him speaking, it was a political lecture of one sort or another. And it was through his teachings that we were able to build an effective organization, what he called an effective machinery. He himself was a well-rounded, dynamic leader. And of course, it is in this context that, as Comrade Madiba remembered him, said that O.R. Tambo was a colossus that strode the globe, but he was also a colossus that strode our movement. So it is accordingly correct that we should accord this launch of this important foundational course as one of those moments to emulate and to walk in the footsteps of President O.R. Tambo. The renewal program that we have embarked upon, a program that we forever spoke about, but a program that we have now grasped in real earnest in that it now has important levers, and one of its important levers, Comrade Makura, is political education. Political education was an important aspect of the life of the African National Congress, and indeed the Congress movement over years. And we must admit that it weakened over time. From 1994, much as we spoke about political education, we started seeing weakening and weakening. A number of comrades dedicated themselves to revive political education. Comrade Kgalema Motlanthe is one that we need to applaud for all the efforts that he has continued to make in our movement to ensure that political education is put on a higher plane. Comrade David Masondo started introducing an innovation of getting us to embark on political education online, and those courses have been most effective. And today we have Comrade David Makura, who is a dynamo, a real driving force, even as he's wearing a suit and a tie today, looking like a real principal. As he left public office, I had moments to have discussions with him just to find out exactly what he wanted to do after acting as Premier of our Gauteng province. And I was really taken in by his dedication, his fervor and commitment to wanting to do political education. And that for me was touching. And today we've got to thank you, Comrade Makhura, for having come up with this innovation. He is the principal who is going to take political education in our movement to higher levels. And we have to thank him, Comrade Makhura, and obviously comrades who work with him, Comrade Phoebe, and the SGO, for coming up with very innovative forms of spreading political education in the ANC. Steeped in technology, steeped in new ways of delivering education in our movement, and also identifying what the needs are. And they have spent, or he has spent, considerable amount of time going through the length and the breadth of our country just to trying to understand what the actual needs are. And so I'm certain that today, as we launch this foundational course, which, as it has been said, is going to be compulsory for all members of the African National Congress, for all of us to embark on, that today it starts here with the more senior leadership of our movement, the National Executive Committee, and others. I don't know whether we are going to be required to write an exam. Well, thank you for saying that, because I did want to say that pass all must actually pass one, pass all. It's possible that Comrade Thabo Mbeki and Comrade Kgalema will pass, and if they pass, you pass us all, please. Or when they pass, you pass us all. So, comrades, this is a real great moment in our movement to be starting off in this way. Yesterday at the O.R. Tambo lecture, we spoke about how it is going to be spread throughout the country. And this is very important. And education has a number of benefits. It strengthens resolve. It deepens our understanding of the country that we live in, its own history, and it gives us tools of analysis. And it gives us confidence. I forever remember, Comrade Kgalema will remember this one, in the National Union of Mine Workers. As we started, we felt that because we were dealing with a cohort of people who had been denied opportunities to be educated, but they needed to elect their own shaft stewards, and the shaft stewards needed to be trained. And Comrade Kgalema came into the union at the time from Robben Island. It was his first job to come into the NUM and to lead the political education process. So this is not the first time that he's doing so. And as we spread the political education, the shaft stewards education course in the union, we found that a number of those workers who had been elected leaders had never really been to school. And we had to craft ways of just ensuring that they have the basic understanding of their union, basic understanding of the industry, of the country, and where we wanted to go. And in doing so, and this is also what was raised at the NEC, Comrade Makhura, as you will recall, that as this is also going to be online, what is going to happen to those members of the ANC who are in far-flung areas who do not have connectivity. And this is where your innovative skills as political education department is going to come in and help our members who are going to be in areas that are challenged with connectivity. And the incident I want to relate is how one of those shaft stewards in the NUM had to represent another member who was well educated. Well educated, he was like a senior member of the staff, and he was being disciplined, about to be dismissed. And this member, who was not educated at all, was his shaft steward. And he couldn't read, he couldn't write, and so he went to the disciplinary hearing. He was as confident as they come. He was very confident. He was a shaft steward of the NUM, and as the whole process started, he didn't understand a single word of what was being said, and he just stood up and very almost arrogantly and said, "Arnixiate, arnixiate, arnixiate." And those white managers couldn't understand a word of what he was saying. He just said, "Arnixiate." And in the end, the guy was reinstated back to work because of the level of confidence this comrade had. So later this high-level official who was about to be dismissed went to James Mutlatsi and said, "Just explain to me, how do you train your shaft stewards?" He says, "Munna, don't ask me about how we train them. You've got your job back. Forget about how we train them." So political education is going to help in many, many ways. It's going to enable our members to be confident in doing their work. It's going to broaden their own understanding and give them tools of analysis, as Comrade Phoebe and Comrade Besani was also saying. And this is a great moment. We've resolved at a number of conferences on various occasions that the training of our members, the political education of our members, should be paramount. And today, at the very top national level, we are giving effect to that, and it is going to be spread throughout the organization. And this is now going to happen in reality. We've got a driver, we've got drivers, and we are now going to duplicate all that in the provinces, in the regions, and in all areas and at branch level. And in some of our conferences, we even declared years as the years of the cadre. And work was done, but it was not thorough. And this is the time when the ANC really gets to grips with what political education should be. Now, there is evidence that when we do spread political education, our comrades become much sharper, much more committed, and it also sharpens and straightens out the ethics and the morals and the values of our organization. It enables comrades to even rid our organization of tendencies such as factionalism. It rids our organization of deviant tendencies that could prevail, because in the main, comrades will now be focusing more and more on the real issues that affect our organization. Our renewal moment is really poised to take this organization to uncharted waters, because as we delve into political education, we are shaping the future, and as we do so, we will be strengthening the organization and rebuilding our organization, as we have said over the weekend, through various means, but also using the lever of political education is going to be one of those important, great moments that our organization should have. So during this renewal period, we should disabuse ourselves from the laziness of not keeping to the programs that are laid out for political education. And Comrade Makhura, one of the things that should be done is that there should be discipline. Discipline with regard to comrades sticking to the program that has been set out. Making sure that, yes, they attend those courses in time and they are able to demonstrate that the courses have been attended and there is an outcome that will be clearly demonstrable after that. So comrades will then emerge out of this whole process of political education well armed with deep knowledge of the African National Congress, but also well armed with what needs to be done to change the lives and to transform the lives of our people, and how we can then embark on various strategies and tactics to address the poverty of our people, unemployment, and inequality. And the good part about this is that it is going to descend to the level of the branch, because it is at the branch level that the work of the ANC needs to be most effective. It is at that level where our people live, where our people are struggling. And the sharpened mind of an ANC cadre, of an ANC leader, will be able to open up all manner of possibilities, knowledge, and innovations of how to address the challenges that our people are facing. That is why political education is going to be so important. The other aspect is that, Comrade Makhura, it will be good if this is put in the realm of lifelong learning. In the past, the ANC and the Congress movement used to have political classes throughout, and comrades would go and come and go and come, and we should embrace lifelong learning. The Communist Party of China takes its top leadership once a year, every year, from president right downwards, to a course every year. Everybody subjects themselves to attending a course, and I'm told it's like a week-long course. And we should embrace that as well. There should be lifelong learning so that all of us immerse ourselves into analyzing the situations that our country faces, so that political consciousness is taken to another high level. This will help in ensuring that our comrades, in addressing the challenges of our people, are able to demonstrate depth, able to demonstrate knowledge, and are able to analyze all problems in greater depth and with good understanding as well. So this decision, Comrade Makhura and Comrade SG and others at the Tuli House, is a really revolutionary decision, walking in the footsteps of our leaders of past, and it is going indeed to take the ANC to another level, and working together with rebuilding the organization, ensuring that we renew the organization, its moral integrity, adherence to its values, and with political education. We are going to be well armed with all the weapons that we need to ensure that we take this organization to another level. In the end, political education must be like recharging our batteries. Cheers. Recharging our batteries, because every battery needs to be recharged, and I would like to invite all of us to participate in this tried and trusted method of cadre development with great commitment, with great excitement to make sure that we strengthen the organization. Comrade SG, I am certain that armed with this, the ANC is going to emerge much stronger in every respect. ANC is going to be able to go back to the effectiveness that O.R. Tambo spoke about, to have an effective machinery that will be able to address the challenges, but more importantly, the needs of our people. So I want to congratulate you, Comrade Makura, Comrade Phoebe, and all of you who've been involved in this, and say we give you strength, and we are now prepared to be victims of your education process. Thank you.
All right, so there you have it. ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa there speaking in Boksburg, where the party is wrapping up their four-day, it's actually a four-day special NEC meeting where a number of issues were discussed, including issues to do with the renewal of the organization and to do with this foundational course that is going to be launched, we're told, in order to drive through political education in the country, or in the ANC, I beg your pardon. We've heard there from Cyril Ramaphosa mentioning that this will be compulsory for all members of the party. It's an initiative that was spearheaded by former Gauteng Premier David Makura, who apparently, when he was stepping down from political office or public office, mentioned to the president back then already that this is what he wants to focus on. And it seems to be an initiative that was spearheaded by both him and Phoebe Potgieter, who we of course know are part of the NEC. Actually, Phoebe Potgieter is still speaking herself. So we'll see how much of a difference this makes. I mean, the political sands in this country have really shifted dramatically, even in the last, some people might say, 5 years. You know, in the past, we used to watch very eagerly to see who the president of the ANC is going to be, because it almost felt inevitable that that person will also lead the country. But of course, the situation has changed dramatically with the watershed moment being during our elections this year. So we'll get a sense of how much this really aids this party, which has been constantly seeing political decline, electoral support decline, I should say, an issue which the president has, of course, identified as a major problem for this organization.